Alright, let's get into it. Today I'm going to be talking about Keshawn Vaughn and why I don't like him as a prospect and his situation, because, he didn't really show me much on his tape. Ronald Jones is still there, and this free agent class next year for the running backs is looking stacked. Coming into the pre-draft process, the Bucs were one of the many teams many thought who were going to go running back early in the draft, but they surprised a lot of people when they waited into the third round to get their guy in Keshawn Vaughn. Vaughn now projects to be the third down running back, blocking and catching passes for Ronald Jones. A smart move by the Buccaneers, as Rojo has not shown any flashes of any of one of those skills, as he's a terrible pass blocker and he's a terrible pass catcher as well. Wanted to highlight on is, why is everyone so excited on Keshawn Vaughn? I mean, we look at his profile, he's 23 years old, and he's actually older than Ronald Jones, who's 22 years old, a stat a lot of people don't know. So let's take a look at Keshawn Vaughn's profile, and this year, as I said before, he's going to be the pass-catching back for Brady, and a lot of people like to compare him to James White, but last year in New England, Tom Brady didn't have anyone to throw to besides Edelman. This year in Tampa Bay, he has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, all those tight ends, a bunch of offensive talent all around him. So the fact that you can compare him to James White, I don't really agree with that because their situations aren't similar. As bad as Ronald Jones was last year, he showed improvement in his rookie year, posting over 1,000 yards from scrimmage while averaging 4.2 yards a carry. And I don't see him losing the early down work this year. And he'll likely start off the year as a starter. Will he lose that job? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all, but he's still going to be in the mix even if Keshawn Vaughn overtakes him as a starter, and maybe kind of like a 60-40 split at best, 50-50 split probably. The team has also reportedly had interest in bringing in Devontae Freeman, which tells me that they're not really confident in this backfield, and although the Devontae Freeman signing will probably hurt Ronald Jones the most, it won't help Keshawn Vaughn at all get on the field. And with the 2021 free agent running back class looking this stacked, and I'll read out the names right now: Derrick Henry, Kenyon Drake, Leonard Fournette, Todd Gurley, Kareem Hunt, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson, Matt Breida, James White, James Conner, Tariq Cohen, Marlon Mack, Damian Williams, Tevin Coleman, Jamal Williams. I know a lot of those players will probably re-sign with their teams that they're on right now, but a lot of these players as well on this list, like Leonard Fournette, Todd Gurley, Kareem Hunt, maybe even Kenyon Drake, Derrick Henry, maybe even Dalvin Cook, who's supposedly projected to hold out. Not projected, but you know what I mean. Chris Carson might not even sign. James White might not even re-sign. Aaron Jones might not re-sign back. James Conner might not re-sign back. All these free agent running backs, they scare me for Keshawn Vaughn's, upside. And we could realistically be looking at a floor next year to where Keshawn Vaughn isn't even fantasy relevant next year. And I know that's harsh for me to say, but who's to say that this team strikes out in the playoffs and, they're looking at their team, they didn't do anything. This is their last year with Brady under contract. They're going to be looking to make a splash, maybe even bring in a Kareem Hunt for a 3-year deal and completely ruin Keshawn Vaughn's, fantasy relevance. So that kind of floor really scares me, and that type of ceiling that I named, that, he's just going to be an average starting running back, that doesn't interest me at all. Guys, I know the opportunity and the landing spot that Keshawn Vaughn landed in, it's a really good one. I'm not going to lie, for a player to show off his talent, because Ronald Jones isn't it as bad as we want him to, be relevant, but he's probably not going to do much this year. And I have a feeling that both of these guys are going to be no less than a low-end, inconsistent RB2, RB3, somewhere around that range. And I don't get why people are spending a first-round pick on Keshawn Vaughn over guys like Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson, Henry Ruggs even. Guys like that, I'd much rather have those guys over Keshawn Vaughn. For me, it's super high risk, medium reward at best, and I'd rather just get someone else. And just because he's a running back in a good position doesn't mean that he's gonna do anything, because first of all, he has to have talent in order to take advantage of his opportunity. He can't just be some random dude who has a good opportunity and he makes the most out of it. He has to have talent first, and I don't know if he has that, and he didn't show me that on tape, and I'm going to go with my gut instinct and say that he's not going to do anything this year. And if he does, he's just going to be an RB3. And next year is when it scares me, as I listed off the 2021 free agent running back class. He could easily get replaced next year, maybe even by a rookie that they draft again in the second round next year. And with that being said, I'm not going to target Keshawn Vaughn in any of my rookie drafts just because there's too many risk factors involved in a player like this. And when Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson, even a Henry Ruggs are going right around the same price where he's going, I'm going to target those guys 9 out of 10 times just because, I feel like they're safer players and I feel like they're more talented players. A lot of people, I think, are overdrafting Keshawn Vaughn just because of the opportunity he has. And of course, he could show out his rookie year, be the next workhorse running back in a great offense and a great system, but I think the likelihood of that happening is way smaller than the likelihood of him being a bust. So I'm going to avoid him in 2020, and that's all I got for y'all. I'll see y'all later.